Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all my family and friends out there. I'm sorry I haven't been around. Much love and respect. I want to do something special on this Christmas Eve for everybody. It's called A Cup of Christmas Tea. It was written by Tom Hange back in 1981. The log was in the fireplace, all spice and set to burn. At last the yearly Christmas race was in the clubhouse turn, and the cards were in the mail, all gifts were below the tree, and 30 days reprieve till Visa could catch up with me. Though smug satisfaction, there was something still nagging at me and wouldn't go away. A week before, I got a letter from my old great aunt. It read, "Of course, I'll understand completely if you can't, but if you find you have some time, how wonderful if we could have a little chat and share a cup of Christmas tea." She had a mild stroke that year, which crippled her left side. Though housebound now, my folks had said it hadn't hurt her pride. They said she would love to see you. What a nice thing would be for you to go and maybe have a cup of Christmas tea. But boy, I didn't want to go. Oh, what a bitter pill to see an old relation and how far she had gone downhill. I remember her as vigorous, as funny, and bright. I remember Christmas Eve when she regaled us half the night. I didn't want to risk that. I didn't want the pain. I didn't need to be depressed. I didn't need the strain. And what about my brother? Why not him? She's his aunt too. I thought I had it justified, but then before I knew it, the reasons not to go I so painstakingly had built were crashing rapidly and in around an acid rain of guilt. I put on boots and gloves and cap, shame stinging every pore, armed with squeegee and sand and map. I went out my front door. I drove in from the suburbs to the older part of town. The pastels of the neighborhood gave way to grays and browns. I had that disembodied feeling as the car pulled up and stopped beside the wooden house that held the Christmas cup. How I got up to her door, I really couldn't tell. I waited, aided by my nervous rocking to and fro, and just as I was thinking I should turn around and go, I heard the rustling of the crutch in the against the wall. The triple beat of 2 feet and a crutch came down the hall. The clicking of the hatch of the door,
and
and as a little swollen struggle popped it open with a jolt, she stood there, pleasantly and tiny, looking fragile as an egg.
I forced myself from staring at the brace that held her leg, and though her thick bifocals seemed to crack and spread her eyes, their milky and refracted depths lit up with young surprise. Come in! She laughed the words. She took me by the hand, and all my fears dissolved away as if by her command. We went inside, and then, before I knew how to react, before my eyes and ears and nose, was Christmas
past,
alive, intense. The scent of candied oranges, of cinnamon and pine. The antique wooden soldiers in their military line. The porcelain nativity I always loved so much. The Dresden and the crystal I'd been told I mustn't touch. My spirit fairly bolted like a child out of class and danced among ornaments and calico glass. Like magic, I was 6 again, deep in the Christmas spell, steeped in the million memories the boy inside knew well. And here, among old Christmas cards, so lovingly displayed, a special place of honor for the ones we kids had named. And there, beside her rocking chair, the center of it all, my great aunt stood and said how nice it was I'd come to call. I sat and rattled on about the weather, the flu. She listened very patiently, then smiled and said, "What's new?" Thoughts and words began to flow. I started making sense. I lost the phony breeziness I use when I get tense. She was still passionately interested in everything I did. She was positive, encouraging, like when I was a kid. Simple generalities still sent her into fits. She demanded the specifics, the particulars, the bits. We talked about the limitations that she'd had to face. She spoke with utter candor and with humor and good grace. Then defined the reality of crutch and straightened knee on wings of hospitality. She flew to brew the tea. I sat alone with feelings that I hadn't felt in years. I looked around at Christmas through a thick, hot blur of tears. And the candles, the holly she'd arranged on every shelf. The impossibly good cookies she still somehow baked herself. But these rich, tactile memories became quite pale and thin when measured by the Christmas my great aunt kept deep within. Her body had and nearly spent, but my great aunt was whole. I saw Christmas miracle, the triumph of a soul. The triple beat, 2 feet and a crutch came down the hall. The rattle of the china in the hutch against the wall. She poured 2 cups. She smiled, and then she handed one to me. And then we settled back and had a cup of Christmas tea.
Thank you for listening. Much love. This dedication goes to Miss Murphy, for without her I would have never knew this book, and I'm so grateful that she read it to me all them years ago. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all my friends and family out there. Thank you, everybody. Again, I am so sorry I haven't been around, going through some things, but Merry Christmas and many more to everybody. And if you're down this year and you're having a bit of bad luck, I pray for you, for it will get better. It's always darkest before the dawn. It hurts. There's no words, and I wouldn't want to take the pain away. But do know that it gets brighter and better out there. You just have to look past all the evil and negativity. You may have to look around, you may have to bob and weave, but it's there. I promise. To all, a good night. And merry holidays. No matter if you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, I don't care what you celebrate, I don't care what you do. Just as long as you're spreading peace and love. Because spreading evil and negativity and hate out there, it doesn't do nothing for nobody. It doesn't help. So let's be 2020, let's try to start it off right by ending this year the right way.